The movie begins with young Jo escaping her parents' constant fights by climbing kitchen cabinets or staring out the window, lost in her thoughts. 20 years later, Jo wakes up late again. She rushes out for work but gets a call from the company where her autistic brother Michael works. When she arrives, the manager fires Michael for accidentally leaking confidential data to the press. Furious, Jo argues, but the manager warns that he's lucky they aren't pressing charges. As they leave, Jo's phone rings again. Her boss threatens to fire her if she's not there in 2 hours. With no choice, she takes Michael along. Her motorbike won't start, so they run for a bus but get on the wrong one, wasting precious time. At work, Jo takes the elevator with company CEOs Jeffrey and Gerald. A pregnant cleaner, Morgan, steps in and Gerald rudely says she should be home instead of working. Morgan snaps back, blaming the company's lack of maternity leave. Jo finally meets her boss, Derek, who punishes her lateness by assigning her the toughest job, cleaning the skyscraper's windows. Meanwhile, Michael, left by a security guard, sneaks away and explores the building. Inside, Jeffrey and Gerald are being interviewed. The host praises their company's energy advancements and mentions the upcoming shareholders gala. Jeffrey, smooth and confident, boasts about their success, while Gerald barely contributes, grunting in agreement. Back outside, Jo is focused on her cleaning when Noah, one of her co-workers, joins her. He seems to admire her, watching the city from the towering building. He gazes down at the world below and mutters, "All flesh is grass." Then almost to himself, he wonders what life was like before humans came along and ruined the environment. As Jo and Noah talk, Derek sends a message telling them to hurry up with their cleaning because the company's big shareholders party is about to start. Noah, noticing how stressed Jo is, suggests that she take Michael somewhere nice after work to help him feel better. Meanwhile, inside the event hall, decorations are being set up, and Gerald keeps sneaking off to take some happy powder. Jo is still working late into the evening when Michael finds her and says he wants to go home. Jo tells him that her shift isn't over yet and that if anyone sees him up here, she could lose her job. She tells him to wait downstairs until she's done. Jo is almost finished, but Derek, being the petty boss that he is, insists there are still plenty of windows left to clean. She has no choice but to keep working late into the night. Then she realizes Derek has locked her out of the lift controls. He plans to operate it himself. In the darkness, she nearly slips and her cleaning sponge drops, hitting a passerby below. Meanwhile, a masked group enters the building, posing as performers for the gala. When Jo finally finishes, she calls Derek, begging him to let her down, but Derek, still holding a grudge for her being late, ignores her and lets her stay trapped up there. At the same time, Jeffrey steps up to give a speech about the company's success. Gerald, already bored, sneaks off with his girlfriend to have some fun in another room. Suddenly, the masked intruders storm the control room, killing Derek and the others inside. As Derek's body falls, it accidentally pushes the lever, making the lift start moving on its own. One of the intruders is a hacker, and he quickly overrides the company's security system. In the event hall below, the group releases a gas that knocks everyone unconscious, except for the intruders, who wear gas masks. With everyone in the building now passed out, the next phase of their plan begins. Jo, still stuck outside, watches helplessly through a window. She has no way to get inside and can only wait for help. Meanwhile, Michael runs through the building and finds a safe place to hide. The intruders gather the shareholders and employees and prepare them for a serious confession. One of them hands out guns to the group, while Z, the hacker, explains that it will take about 4 hours before the unconscious people start waking up. Their leader introduces himself as Blake and reveals that they are part of an activist group called Earth Revolutionists. Their mission is to protect the planet from corporations that harm the environment. They begin interrogating people one by one, promising freedom if they cooperate, but when they realize someone is missing, Gerald, his brother Jeffrey refuses to talk. To force an answer, they break his fingers. They find Gerald in his room, wake him up, and give him a breathing mask. As Gerald sees someone watching from outside the window, he tries to warn his captor, but the man removes his mask, revealing himself to be Noah, Jo's cleaning partner. Jo realizes she has to act fast. She ties a rope to the lift and begins to descend. Blake removes his mask and tells the captured group to stay calm. Jeffrey assumes they want money, but Noah proves otherwise by hitting him. Z then plays a shocking video exposing the company's corruption. It reveals that the company has been secretly polluting the environment while pretending to support green initiatives. They have used money and media influence to cover up their harmful activities. One of their supposed environmental activists had tried to expose them but was later found dead. The company made sure the truth was buried and justice was never served. But tonight Blake promises that the whole world will finally learn the truth. Once the company's stock crashes and its reputation is destroyed, their mission will be complete and the hostages will be set free. Jeffrey tries to bribe Blake, hoping to buy his way out, but this only makes Noah angrier. Furious, Noah grabs a wine bottle and shoves it into Jeffrey's mouth, nearly choking him. Blake quickly steps in, pulling Noah back and warning him to get himself together. He reminds him that their mission isn't about killing, but about changing lives. However, Noah has his plans. His gang brings out strapped bombs, revealing their more extreme intentions. Meanwhile, Joe searches the lift's compartment and finds some jelly. She smears it on the window and sets it on fire, creating an SOS message that people on the ground floor can see. This ensures that the police will soon arrive. Realizing what just happened, Blake immediately orders Noah to handle Joe. Gerald sees the distraction and seizes the opportunity to escape into one of his rooms. Noah finds Joe and tells her to bring him up so he can focus on finding Gerald. Blake soon tracks down Gerald and tries to grab him, but his gun accidentally goes off, shattering the glass. Noah arrives, gun ready to kill Gerald, but Blake stops him, warning that they are close to achieving their goal. Ignoring him, Noah shoots Blake instead, killing him. He and his loyal men then turn on the rest of Blake's supporters, shooting them as well. Blake's body is thrown out the window, and Noah shoots Jeffrey in the leg to prevent him from running away. Joe approaches Blake's body and takes his gun and phone. Just then, Michael appears but quickly hides when he hears footsteps approaching. As police sirens get louder, Noah calls emergency services, pretending to be a hostage. He threatens to kill a pregnant cleaner unless she empties her clip into the street, drawing police attention and buying the group more time. A police helicopter arrives, positioning a sniper to keep an eye on Joe, whom the news has mistakenly labeled as a terrorist. Noah then orders Z to wire $33 million from the company's account into Joe's, framing her. Detective GV arrives on the scene and is briefed about Joe's past. She was once in the Marines, making it through the selection process but quitting after assaulting her spotter for harassing her. The ground officer suggests shooting Joe, but the detective hesitates, pointing out that she called for help using the SOS sign. However, when they see the $33 million in her account, some officers push to take her down. The detective insists on waiting a little longer. Joe approaches Blake's body and retrieves his phone, but the crane suddenly jolts, causing the body to fall. Joe barely manages to hold on. She then calls the detective, pleading with her not to shoot and asking for help protecting her brother. Meanwhile, the shareholders and company executives are forced to make individual confessions, which are recorded. Digging deeper into the activist group, investigators find an old video of Noah speaking about saving the planet. Blake had been a peaceful activist, involved in previous operations without casualties. Realizing that Noah is the true terrorist, the detective orders a plan to stop him. Noah is fitted with electronic braces that detect his impulses. If he gets too agitated, he has 5 seconds to calm down or the bomb will detonate, killing everyone inside. The detective negotiates with Noah, who says he will release some hostages after their confessions and the rest once given safe passage. However, he notices police approaching and detonates a bomb, killing several officers. The detective is furious, realizing the ground chief acted without her orders. Meanwhile, Z begins doubting her decisions after seeing the chaos unfold. Joe and Michael manage to break into the building, taking down some of Noah's men. They reach the control room where Michael shuts down the video before it can go public. Joe calls Noah, informing him that his plan is ruined since she has erased the evidence. Noah is furious, knowing his actions now mean nothing. Joe alerts the detective and asks for police reinforcements while luring Noah's men into a trap. The police move in to rescue the hostages while Joe fights Noah. Initially, Noah overpowers her, demanding the drive, but Joe tricks him, snatching the pulse bracelet from his wrist without him noticing. As he hangs on the edge, he believes he has won, until Joe shows him the bracelet. Realizing he's doomed, Noah tries to climb up, but Joe cuts the rope, sending him falling to his death. With the crisis over, the detective asks Joe for the hard drive, but Joe claims she never had it. She jokingly asks if she can keep the $33 million, but the detective tells her she has to return it. A few days later, the leaked confessions of the company executives go viral. Meanwhile, Joe and Michael enjoy some much-needed time together. The movie ends here.